That it's 3 o'clock. Call the meeting to order, the Finance, Audit, and Legislative Affairs Committee meeting. First order of business, call to order. And then we have Paul Rosenbaum on the phone, and he'd like to participate, so I need a motion to allow him. Linda, a second. Betty? I think I'll have to refresh here. Please vote. Okay, that passes. Welcome, Paul. Our next order of business is approval of the January 6, 2026 minutes. I need a motion. Eden, second. Terry. Are there any corrections, questions? Okay, please vote. Okay, that passes unanimously. Thank you. We are at informational items, and our first is monthly financial report as of November 30th, 2025.
Good afternoon. We have November. We are close to being at the fiscal year. So in March, when I come to you with December and January, we'll have a lot more interesting financial report, since we'll have a little bit more of a complete picture, even though it will not be fully complete, since that will only be everything, all the transactions we have through March, and not anything that's recorded during the audit that takes place after we close the fiscal year. So, but a couple things to highlight with this month is obviously we're in November. That's 11 months. We should be through about 91.6% of revenue and expenses. So to date, we have 97.3% of the total budgeted revenues for all funds, and then the total expenses we have 70.5% of the budget. I did want to point out that the revenues do look a little bit higher, and that is primarily due to we didn't have appropriations in the ARPA fund for all the revenues. So all of those revenues that have come in didn't have, we missed that. And so that looks like we are a little bit ahead of where we should be. So just keep that in mind. So going for general fund, revenues to date were 87.7% and expenses were 83.8%. In your packet, there is property taxes, and I have that reported through December. We should get another little small interest distribution, so that should be slightly higher. And then last month, or earlier this month, there was a budget appropriation for the facilities and grounds. That was about $249,000. So even though that department looks like their expenses are close to being at budget, they should be within budget by the time the year end comes. One other item I want to point out is just a reminder that the some of the fine revenue, which is also in the treasurer's budget and general fund, that is recorded in December, sometimes in period 13. So that looks low, but that will come in once we close our books. So One other last piece of information, I will send it to Scott, but IML did issue another review magazine today, or I got it in the mail today, so it was this month, and they have updated state shared revenue estimates and a lot of good information in there. So I'll give that to Scott so he can send that. So if you guys want to read, it is available to you. So we will not see you next month, but we will see you in a couple of months with a lot more information. If you have any questions, I am happy to take them.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Next is Long-Term Care Services Fund Report.
Sorry, I didn't think I had this printed off. So I don't have the numbers memorized. Our long-term care services fund is finishing November at 4.172 million, and interest earned to date total between when it began in 24 and this fiscal year through November of 25 is 180,000, and we are still well on track to finishing according to the plan to hopefully pay the bonds in 2032 when they are callable. I'm happy to answer any questions.
So what's that number? I have it. I just want for everybody to know.
Yes, it's 11,075,000, and we'll have a balance of about $1 million in the fund to fund other long-term care services.
Okay.
From beyond.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions on that? Linda?
Do you think that we could add the amount of money that the board will save taxpayers by paying off these bonds 10 years in advance? Because I think that's always really interesting for people to believe how much money interest costs.
Yes.
So if
include
we
that
would
first.
add that, I think that would be even more interesting.
Yep, that's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Linda, for that. Are there any additional questions? Okay, moving on. We are at accounts payable, employee reimbursement, and purchase card activity for December of 2025.
In your packet, you'll have the AP report. There was $5 million paid out in December of 25. The first sheet shows it by fund. And then if you have any questions on it in general or on any of the specific transactions, I'm happy to answer those for you.
Any specific questions on those reports? Just a comment. We spend a lot with Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions? Okay. We are at Peoria County Capital Projects, funding sources, and progress.
Also in your packets is the updated list of capital projects that are ongoing. On the second sheet are the completed projects, recently completed projects. And on the first sheet, we have taken off fiscal 24 and shifted to just show fiscal 25's revised budget, expenditures, encumbrances, and then the fiscal 26 budget since we are now in 2026. So if you have questions, I'm happy to attempt to answer those for you.
Questions? So can you give me a rough idea, or no, you can probably give me a number on where we're going to end up being with the health building?
So I was hoping to have a report for you at committees this month, but working with Assistant County Administrator Smith, there are a couple of projects there that are ongoing that we haven't been invoiced for, and I'm not sure of the total amount of those at this moment off the top of my head. We have done the final pay to River City, and that was about just over $100,000 less than the GMP. And then we did also save on like furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So without those other two, that are outstanding. I don't want to give a firm number because I don't want to get people too excited, but it'll be around that that amount.
So we'll probably have that next month?
I'm hoping, yeah.
Okay.
As long as I don't know if the projects are completed, we'll be getting billed for them soon. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we're close.
We're very close.
Okay.
I wish we were there,
Okay. Okay.
but we're getting there.
Additional questions? Thank you. Okay.
you.
We have no resolutions, but we have committee action. So I need a motion to put this on the floor, and this is a review of executive session minutes. Linda? Eden? Okay.
Thank you. Yes, it's the recommendation of the state's attorney's office that all previously held minutes continue to be held because the need for confidentiality still exists, and to go ahead and destroy the executive session audio recordings that are more than 2 years old, except for those that relate to pending litigation.
Questions? Okay, please vote. Okay, thank you for that vote. Passes. Do we have any public comment? Okay, miscellaneous. I just want to thank Vice Chairwoman Linda for chairing the meeting last month and doing an excellent job. So appreciate that, as I was off on vacation. So, any other miscellaneous? Okay, we're adjourned.